My writing cycle began with students first reading an article and then making a position paper based on whether or not women should be firefighters. After students drafted their ideas, I collected the drafts and assessed them according to the 6+1 traits of writing. Voice is a trait that I saw lacking in a lot of papers. I learned that voice is the author's personality, and it's the sense that the author is speaking directly to the reader. After referencing the rubric shown, I saw where some students seemed distant from the topic and uninvolved about their position in which they wrote about. Next, I decided to do a small group lesson to better assist students with putting their voices in their papers. We started off first reading a paper in which the author used plenty of voice. Next, we read the paper together out loud, and then I asked the students if they heard anything different from this writing or paper compared to theirs.
Do you see anything interesting in this paper? Or maybe different from yours? Yeah. What do you see?
The female student pointed out that the author used words to make their paper pop. I explained that I can hear the author's voice. Then I took a few moments to explicitly explain voice to both students.
To make it pop out. To make it pop. Why do you think she made it pop?
To make it, because she's writing about how to write, so to give money to very important details.
And you actually made a great point. So she made it pop. So I can hear her voice in this paper. Do you know what voice is? Think about it. That's what she's thinking. What she's thinking.
And she kind of explained how to write a story.
Right. So she's explaining. Who is she talking to?
Us readers.
She's speaking directly to you. Can you clearly see that when she writes this?
Mhm.
You can see it, can't you? So that's what voice is. Voice is when the writer, when you can tell that the writer is speaking directly to you. So when someone reads your paper, I can read this and I can see, wow, she's speaking directly to me. I can hear her voice in it. Or sometimes people like Carlin can do, and I know some of the words you use. Sometimes I say, man, you say that, you can put that in your paper. If you were to write that in your paper, I would be like, wow, that is so Arlen. I hear Arlen's voice in that paper. That's voice. So what I want to do today.
Next, students went back into the author's paper and highlighted areas where they can hear the author's voice. Then we reviewed it together as I inquired why and how they can hear the author's voice. Thereupon, students selected one paragraph where they can add their voices in their position papers. Students were given ample time to edit their papers. Upon completion of this group lesson, students were able to produce a paragraph voicing their position in their writing. I can see a big difference from their drafts compared to their edit pieces. For example, I can really see how one student used their voice as she wrote, "Well, that's fair!" Exclamation mark. Women should be firefighters because we can do anything men can do! Exclamation mark. The final step in my writing center is for these students to revise and publish their papers. I aim to do more writing cycles like this in the future. Thanks for watching.